Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri and Wurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament 2023 Sunday morning finals day. This is the semi-final morning, and this is the semi-final round of second semi-final between the second and third finishers of the tournament. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me this morning is Zoe Stewart. Once again, it's great to have you with me, Zoe, who will be taking care of the play-by-play through this particular game and is having a ball doing it, so I am reliably informed.
By who?
By you.
I am having a good time.
So what we do now is we have the 2 versus 3, and it's the Melbourne Reds against the West Australian Ice Quokkas. So those of you who are listening into this or watching this broadcast from Perth, we do wish you a very warm welcome and hope that it's not too early in the morning for you. I believe it's about 7:15 in the morning, wakey. In Melbourne at the moment, it's a Melbourne day that you would expect. It's a bit kind of dreary and drizzly outside, and not the nicest morning of all, but here we are in the ice rink, which has a roof, so we're all good. The Reds are coming off a win last night against the Central Coast Stingrays. They've picked the right time to find their form. They had a bit of a slow start. First couple of games, they looked a bit rusty and they were trying to overdo things a little bit, but they've simplified the game and started playing to their strength and finished a very close second on the ladder. Just a small goal differential, the difference between them and the Central Coast Stingrays, who just 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so ago before sealed their place in the grand final game at 5 o'clock this evening. So after a slow start, Simone Leach finally found some form, and she has 11 points and 5 goals from the 5 games they've played in the regular program. The Reds game could be described as relentless, and they're very frugal in defence. Taylor Lester backstopping them well, although through the tournament they've only given away 6 goals for the entire tournament. And yesterday, Simone Leach was dominant. I think she scored 5 goals or 4 goals in a game against the Melbourne Furies. It's a dominant display of just getting in the slot and tucking pucks away, and the West Australians will need to be aware of that. The Ice Quokkas are on a mission. It's a long trip over from Perth, and they didn't come to munch spiders. They're here to play their best, and that's what we expect to see today. They want to play in the grand final. They want to play at 5 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. And they have a multi-dimensional attack, Antle and Clark, with 4 goals each, and they're led by their captain, Heather Hayduck, who has played superb and has been nearly perfect in defence. They're big, fast and powerful. They do occasionally make some choices in defence that cost them. They'll need to make sure they play up the ice in defence and prioritise clearing the puck and pushing the Reds out of the zone, or the Reds' power forwards like Leach will make them pay dearly. If you give Leach time and space in the slot, she will bury that puck where you do not want it. And she's very good at that. So the West Australian team will need to be very aware of Simone Leach in particular. But that does open up opportunities. If they can do that, if they can control the Reds forwards, then they will have a good chance to win this game. Last time they met, the Reds took the game 2-0, and it was a battle royale all the way to the finish of the game. Zoe, what do you reckon?
Well, interestingly enough, we just had Jen Lunt, the goaltender previously who just played, on, but now we have the actual goalie, Taylor Lester of the Reds, back on, arriving just in time. Unfortunately, a bit of trouble getting to the rink this morning.
It's an automotive issue.
However, it is good to see her dressed and ready for the opening face-off that the Quokkas are just getting ready for now. Reds taking a little longer to get there.
Yep, this is where the referee's gone, give them a bit of a hurry up, and they do exactly that, blow the whistle. If they're not lined up and ready, you can just drop the puck and start the game without them.
I mean, yes, there's 5 on -1. What is that?
You learn that lesson very, very quickly. Oh, we just gave away a goal. What do you mean? Well, the game starts if you're not ready.
There we go, and it'll be interesting to see Lester potentially not as warmed up as she'd like right now.
Yeah, she won't have had much of a warm-up, but a lot of adrenaline. Let's see if she's got some speeding tickets from driving you down the freeway.
And here we go for the opening face-off. Now right in on that is the Quokkas, but the Reds defense just managing to chip them onto the boards. Johnson now with the puck, carrying it around across the slot and up for the breakout. They're looking for that stretch pass just onside there. But the Quokkas not able to get too many players up the ice, and so the Reds will just be able to pass that one up into their offensive zone, but a chip does get that right out of the zone and across back to Johnson, who is leading it up the right side of the ice. Now Krulak passing
Leach,
across to...
Leach in the slot unmarked at the moment. They do pick her up eventually. They've got to keep a really close eye on Simone Leach. She did score a lot of goals in the last couple of games, just by being floating around in that slot without any pressure on her. The way to defend that is to get in her face and lift her stick up. If you don't do that, she's going to score goals on you all night.
And a good save there by Eleanor Watson. First test of the game, just stretching out for that pad save. And now the Quokkas breaking out. Reds defense heading back. Sobol looking for the puck and chipping that round behind the net for Gallagher. Gallagher getting that to the wing. And now Leach heading up cross ice pass to Johnson, who is looking for a shot, and a shot doesn't quite make it. A misfire there, but getting it back around the goal, trying to get back, into the slot. Johnson again looking for a shot. Once again, doesn't quite get through, but off a couple skates there, looking pretty risky for the Quokkas.
So
and
the Reds not quite able to take advantage of a 2-on-1 they had in that breakout. Just not quite able to capitalise on it. And Eleanor Watson again, possibly a little fortunate to get away with that one.
And Quokkas just in position there to make sure that one doesn't get in for another shot on goaltender Eleanor Watson.
It's been a long shift to both teams. They've both been on the ice now for 2 minutes. So there'll be some fatigue. You can see Simone Leach pretty keen to get off the ice.
And we did see the Reds taking long shifts on Friday, and so it'll be interesting to see how they are managing their shifts. And now they will go for a partial change. Johnson's still on the ice and now heading off for a change as well. And the Reds' pressure is looking excellent, but just not able to capitalise on that one so far, as the Quokkas send that one down the ice. And that will be an icing.
There's an icing on that. So the West Australians who've tried to sneak a change, and Shana Godfrey keeping a close eye on that, and just says to Nicole Clark, sorry, you come back here. That's my trick when I'm playing. You're not allowed to do my trick. I'm going to see you do it. The old story is send a thief to catch a thief. And Shana Godfrey, a legend of hockey here in Australia, and she knows all the tricks about trying to get off on an icing, and she will not let you get away with it. She'd try it on if she was playing, but as a referee, she's going to see it coming.
Frost with the puck. Sending that one wide and deep for the Reds. And to the Quokkas, once again, the shots are only one shot has been recorded for the Reds. So they have had a lot of zone time so far. And dangerous pass there by the Quokkas, just right into the low slot. But now they are able to get that one on the breakout. And that will be touched up by the Reds defense. And both teams, the Quokkas will get a change.
That's the change they were pretty keen to get. They'd been stuck out on a defensive press for quite a while. Now they've got a chance to change up the rest of their line if they choose to do it. We've got Drago out on the ice for the Quokkas, and we know she's capable of scoring.
Yeah, Thomas to Zucks. Getting that one across. And Quokkas just looking to chip that one backhand up, but that is to Johnson. And floating goes in, looking for a tip. The Reds.
Van der Kleed almost able to get onto that one and put it in past the West Australian goaltender.
And the good screen there by the Reds, trying to test Watson's eyes on the puck. And Johnson heading in now. Dangerous shot over. And that will be the first goal of the game by Johnson. Briar Johnson there, just putting that one over the shoulder of goalie Eleanor Watson.
See this on the replay. She's got way too much space there coming in across that top of the face-off circle, and gets a clear shot away. The West Australian defence will need to shut that down and just get more bodies in front of her to take away that chance.
And just the unrelenting pressure of the Reds in that zone has finally paid off for them with a goal on just 2 shots so far, despite creating a lot of pressure for them. And now we will head into the Quokkas zone, as the Quokkas will try and equalise with getting a couple shots of their own. But that poke check breaks up, and now it's a 2-on-0 for goaltender Eleanor Watson. Will head out of the goal. Dangerous for the goalie, who will just freeze it, head it out again, out of the goal, and it does bounce off a stick up and behind, and Watson will desperately try to get back to the goal. Very dangerous play there for Watson, who does manage to keep that one out and get back to her position, and now they are battling for the puck along the boards. An extended period of time there, back in for a centering pass. And they're just not able to get that out of the zone, just lingering around some high danger areas for the Quokkas. But now the Quokkas on the breakout, a 1-on-2 odd man rush heading up the ice. Red speed trying to get back and defend that one, and that is not able to be a shot for the Quokkas.
Hadley Nelson shutting down that breakaway from behind with a rapid back check. You just see the West Australians slowing down a little bit. They saw they had the 2-on-1, but just lost a little bit of pace. And against this Melbourne Reds team, if you slow down and attack, you're going to get caught from behind. They do have a good back check. But I was particularly impressed there by Eleanor Watson's work. She had that 2-on-none came out and poked, and it was exactly the right thing to do. She had no other alternative. And in the end, she did manage to shut down and deny the Reds what was an absolute prime scoring opportunity.
Absolutely. Famously, never let them know your next move.
So, but great goaltending there by Eleanor Watson.
Absolutely. And perhaps the shots don't reflect that so far, but as the game goes on, I'm sure Eleanor Watson, it will show up statistically, but she has been excellent so far for the Quokkas and able to get that 2-0 and keep that scoreline at 1. Now Reds, Megs chipping that one up to the blue line. Gallagher with the puck, looking for options, flings that one in. No one able to grab that one off. And now the Quokkas looking for a shot. A slap shot goes high. And the Reds back on that one. And just a freeze there by Taylor Lester, the first couple shots of the game.
Leicester doing a good job there, just tidying up the West Australians with a good little drive down the middle of the ice, trying to create a little bit of space. Early on, they've been outpaced by the Reds. The West Australian team, they've got some big, strong players, and they need to use that muscle in the slot, but they've got to be mindful of the speed of the Reds when they get past them.
That one up to Richards, who battles, and running back is, I believe that's Hayduck. That will be an icing.
Hayduck had to hurry there because the puck was being driven down through the neutral zone. She had to win the race because there were Reds coming, and the Reds will always keep pressure on you. One of the ways that we do describe their game, it is a relentless pressure game, which is very hard, difficult to play against. You don't get uncontested puck against them, and that's one of the things that makes them so difficult to play against. And they've really got on top of that in the last few games, and it's apparent that their speed is the big difference for them.
Quokkas winning that face-off and trying to get into the slot. A pass there in, looking for a tip. Reds defense just getting that one out, looking for a breakout. Kept in at the blue line by the Quokkas defense. That is an offside, but the Quokkas maintain possession as they touch up along the blue line. But some great checking there. And that will be a penalty.
Marie Newell there with a lot of checking pressure through the neutral zone on the West Australians, but she's going to do time for it. Looks like she got a little bit tangled up, and that's probably going to go for a hook on Marie, which will give the West Australians a good opportunity to try and get that goal back. They'll get an offensive zone face-off. The Reds will have to use their penalty kill for the first time, and they've got Cashin and Leach in the penalty kill to start off for the first 2 minutes, and Gallagher as well. Pretty safe set of hands there in defence. Can the West Australians use it?
Sending that right up the ice off the face-off, making the Quokkas chase. And now a little bit of possession in the Quokkas zone, which is exactly what the Quokkas aren't looking for on their power kill. Power play, in fact. No, power kill. And now on the breakout, heading up, sending that one cross ice for the zone entry.
Leach just muscling McNabb there out of the way. The West Australians trying to get an entry into the zone as the Reds were doing a pretty good job of putting a lot of forechecking pressure on them as Cashin tries to break it up as well.
Cashin with Leach heading up.
And now they've got trouble. They've got, if the West Australians can swoop on this one, the Reds were committed deep, but doesn't work out for them.
McNabb trying to get to that one. And Hayduck just racing down to get the puck. Not much pressure from the Reds on that one. And so they will reset on the power play and get a couple of changes in. And just fling that one down deep.
McNabb was presented there by pretty much a wall of a high neutral zone or a low neutral zone trap by the Reds, which gave a little option in terms of what can I do with the puck except dump it and try and win the race to it.
Gallagher with the puck, heading that one down, sending it to Krulak. Just trying to get through, but the Quokkas keep it in. Now Krulak flinging that one down.
It's been a pretty long shift on the penalty kill now for these killers. Gallagher gets a change. The rest of them still on the ice. Cashin's gotten off, but Leach still on for the penalty kill. She's been on for about 90 seconds, and you can see she's pretty desperate to get a change.
And Leach will get that change with a bit of a shove. As the Reds head down, looking for a shot, and they get a goal. A very impressive through 3 defenders. That was, I believe that was that was Briar Johnson with that one. Through 3 defenders and the goaltender just managing to flip that one up and over, and the Reds will be up 2-0 to the Quokkas in the first with 4 minutes to go.
On the drop of the puck, they will be back to 5-on-5 as Marie Newell will make her way straight back onto the ice.
And the Reds sending that one up which will not be an icing, pardon me. And just flinging that one across in front of the goal with no one there. Johnson grabs that one in the neutral zone and just using her body positioning to try and keep that one from Dravo.
Johnson with 2 goals so far for the Reds in this game, just getting rewarded for her speed and aggressiveness. And that was a short-handed goal for her just towards the very end of that penalty.
And that will not be an icing call. It will be an icing call, pardon me. And that will go to the red zone for a face-off, and Reds will not be able to change.
So the Reds using a very aggressive penalty kill. They caught the West Australians a couple of times trying to get a break in. They gave them a bit of room through the neutral zone, but then stacked the top end of their defensive zone with 3 players, which gives you a wall of red to try and get past. When you're skating up on that, you're thinking, how do I get through this wall? And often the only option is to chip and try and chase past it. But the Reds had Gallagher back to clean that up, so a very effective penalty kill by the Reds.
Johnson just flying out of the zone, chipping that one up deep into the Quokkas zone, and coming back around to chase that one on the forecheck. Now up in the corner as it trickles out, and the Quokkas will race for it.
Sobol and Antil racing for that. Interesting play there. The Reds did get themselves in a little bit of bother. They had only Sobol back covering for D. The other D for the Reds had activated deep in attack, so they were pretty exposed. A little bit lucky to get away with that instance.
And Van der Vliet there just losing the puck, and the Reds will get a change and settle that one down before they chip it up.
So just a little bit of disorganisation there by the Reds. There are chinks in their armour.
And the Quokkas will look to capitalise upon those as they enter their offensive zone. Sayers going for the puck. And Labour getting a shot, not able to get through Gallagher. Heading back into the neutral zone. Thomas with that one, sending it back. Risky pass with the pressure from West Linnet, but that one goes deep into the red zone with pressure from West Linnet as the Quokkas try and get their breakout. And that one goes deep. Watson down, able to get that stop. Gallagher at the point stops that one from heading out of the zone, but Seen now with the puck on the breakout. And Seen pressured by Gallagher. Pardon me. And that one heads back into the Quokka zone.
Seen just kind of shoveled the puck up the ice there. She wasn't under an awful lot of pressure. Perhaps a little bit rattled by the semi-final nature of this game and the small lead that Melbourne Reds have with just over a minute to play in the first, that 2-goal lead.
And Reds defense playing it deep, expecting the breakout. But now they will regain possession and get a shot that does go wide of the goal. And Seen now all alone and heading up into the neutral zone.
Jess Meg's doing a good job there, back checking on Seen and just depriving her of time and space. And that's that relentless play that we know from the Reds. The West Australians will need to match that if they can and lift their intensity a little bit to be a chance against this team.
And Meg's now supported by Lester into the zone. Shot on just wide of the goal, but they managed to capitalise on that, and Krulak, I believe, got that goal, and that will be the third for the Reds in the first dying seconds of the first, in fact.
We will find out who got that in just a second. It's got a 2 on it. But it was a second and third effort. The shot in by Leach was under a lot of pressure. We just missed the replay on that, I'm afraid. But Leach got a shot away under a lot of pressure, which was the right thing for the West Australian team to do. But then there was a second and a third follow-in by the Reds, and it was the third one that picked up the rebound and buried the puck, and that was Krulak who scored that goal. So 3-0 at the end of the first. 5 shots on the net, so not that high, a lot of them going wide, but the Reds at the moment showing a fair bit of intensity, and for the West Australian Quokkas, what they're going to need to do is just raise their intensity a little bit and improve the passing, getting that puck out of the zone a little bit faster. If they can catch the Reds in deep, and the Reds do like to activate, their D will come in deep on occasions, and there's been a number of occasions when the Reds have had only the one D floating around back, Sobol often the one left on her own on the blue line. If the West Australians can find and take an opportunity on that, maybe get a stretch pass behind that D, or even a winger activating quickly up through the middle of the ice, and they can find that pass, then they have got a pretty good chance of getting some breakaway goals against them. They will be relentlessly back-checked. We know that the Reds have got a really good back-check through the neutral zone. So, but if they can get that and get some speed out through there, if they can get, say, for example, McNabb really moving quickly through that area, or Antil, we know those two are capable of getting through quickly, then they've got a chance to get some of those goals back. Well, that's what they're going to need to do. If they sit on their heels and wait for the Reds, they're just going to get swamped. But if they can lift their intensity just a few percent and try and take advantage of the pinch in by the Reds do like to pinch in a lot and activate their D in attack, but that does leave them exposed a little bit behind, and that's what the West Australians will need to do if they are to beat this team. They've done a good job of containing Leach. They're putting under pressure most of the time, which is good. That's what they need to do, but now they need to score some goals.
We have Zux and Krulak on the face-off. Reds into the zone with Jess Meggs carrying the puck in. One is broken up. Reds D will come in to retrieve that. I believe it's Johnson. And a battle down low between the two teams. Reds flinging that one across, and Dravo heading straight for the puck with Jess Meggs, and now the Quokkas on the breakout heading up ice. And Sobol just collecting the puck, carrying it around and sending it up behind the goal. And Reds back the other way. Broken up in the neutral zone, but Reds maintain possession as they head in. And Leach with the puck. And
Simone Leach leaving a trail of black and yellow jerseys behind her as she sweeps through the through the top of the offensive zone, but she was dispossessed and ran into a wall of Richards. She wasn't getting through that one.
And Johnson just weaving east to west through the D zone, getting it up, but not far enough, as that will be sent back for an icing call for a face-off in the Quokkas zone.
We'll see. It'd be interesting to see this time how the Reds set up their forward, set up their D. If they keep them both back on the blue line, or if they pinch in close to the face-off circle. If they do that pinch in, and if the West Australians can get a chip through on the face-off, it will set them up for a bit of a breakout and get past them. They do have Gallagher back at the moment. We know how fast she is for the Reds.
Kazada winning that one, and the puck going to Newell. And battle on the boards. The Quokkas. It's 2-on-2 against the boards at the moment before that one does head out, and the Quokkas just trying to get that speed. Gallagher heading back to defend the slot.
The West Australians running a two-player forecheck there on Frost. Frost is going to get penalised now for a hook by the look of it, or possibly interference. As soon as the puck is clear out of there, and the Reds will get penalised there, and that's Frost who'll do 2 minutes. And you can see there was a two-player forecheck by the West Australians. They had two charging in on either side of the net, which deprived Frost in the way of option. Gallagher was getting back to try and help, but what it did prove that aggressive forecheck by the West Australians put the pressure on them, and in the end they earned the power play.
Here we go. So we will see how the Quokkas power play does now. In the second, and that one going to Newell. Oh, pardon me, Antil, who holding onto the puck and using their skates to try and free that one in this board battle.
What there is there at the moment is there's two Reds tied up in the battle, and the referee's got to hand up for another penalty. So we may end up, not sure who's going to get it. So it's going to be another penalty on the Reds. They'll be, as soon as Melbourne Reds will be down to 3-on-5 when they touch the puck here. The West Australians have pulled their goalie because they cannot be scored against unless they score an own goal. It can happen, but it's pretty rare. So we've now got 6-on-4. When the Reds touch it, they will get the whistle blown. And now we will have, for about a minute, we're going to have 5-on-3 for the West Australians. And that is Zoe Quezada doing 2 for a hold. And it was that little board battle where two of them were in. It's generally, especially in a penalty kill situation, Zoe, I think it's a really bad idea to have two players in battling on the boards, because then you've only got two players actually doing any real defending. And they're paying the price for that, 5-on-3 for a minute.
And we'll just see the Reds try and fling that one down, but there's kept in by Hayter, who sends it in, looking for a shot going just wide, or tips just wide perhaps. In and Antil desperately trying to get that puck, while Johnson with the puck, just trying to figure out a way to send that one out of the zone with the pressure of the 5 Quokkas players. And now desperately over, puck bouncing. And Leicester trying to get back to position, and she does. But Antil keeping that in with a skate. And Red's able to get possession, but not able to send it out. They will look to send it up the boards here, but the Quokkas will be able to maintain possession and keep it in the zone. And now looking for a shot is Sayers. And Gallagher trying to get that one out desperately. Thomas with a keep in at the blue line, sending it back in deep.
5 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. They'll still have the power play, the West Australians, but it'll be 5-on-4, not 5-on-5, not 5-on-3, as Frost comes on and immediately subs off, extending the penalty. Why? And the Reds finally managed to clear the puck. There's no icing on that.
And a shot on the penalty kill. That will be swallowed up by Eleanor Watson. Just that change, able to get back on that icing and look for that shot.
So that runs down the clock. So some good pressure there by the West Australians when they had that 5-on-3. They got a few shots on the net and created a lot of chaos on the net. Just not quite able to capitalise on it, but good pressure.
And Leach with the puck, looking for a shot. Doesn't quite get that one off, and the Quokkas tip that one out of the zone. 15
seconds to go on the second penalty, so they've still got the numerical advantage for about another 10 seconds, the West Australians.
Leach heading in with Krulak. And now, again, battling for it along the boards is Scene. Scene getting it out of the zone, and so Reds will have to leave. And now we are playing some 5-on-5 hockey once again.
And Quezada skates right past the puck and straight onto the bench for a change.
And Smith heading in with Sayers.
It's a puck at your feet, play it.
Sending it down. That is just offside. Krulak
offside.
Just a little eager on the puck there.
But Zoe, that's one of those things that, look, I know why they do it, but it just seems to me to be such a short-sighted thing. Skating straight across the ice, there's the puck at your feet, ignore it and get a change. You could pick it up and play it and be part of the action, but... Lucy Pangton knows what she's doing. She knows more than I do about it.
Only comment on reality. Carl, we can't change it.
Such a frustrating thing to see. But all the same, the Reds now back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Reds pass, just holding onto that puck. Johnson heading behind the net, looking for her best opportunity for the breakout. And now they will with speed. Johnson again with the puck up the ice, passing it across and deep into the zone. Looking for that centering pass, doesn't quite go where she wants, and so Dravo is able to tip that one out and maintain the pressure, regaining the puck and looking for a shot.
The previous attacking opportunity was set up there for the Reds at Lieber, just trying to challenge a little bit high rather than moving back early. Didn't have enough West Australians coming back in layers over the top of her. So if they are exposed like that, the West Australian D needs to move back earlier.
Now heading down deep, battle for the puck. Just trying to use that body positioning to get possession. Looking for a shot. And just behind the net there. And Johnson, who I have seen a lot on the ice, and carrying the puck up once again to Labour. So they don't manage to get that one deep, and Reds do not get a change on that one as the Quokkas head back in. And once again, shallow into the neutral zone, and so the Quokkas will just look to touch up and get that one back in. A couple of them on a change. And just a pass goes awry there. So the Reds are able to put that pressure, and Quezada with the puck, looking for that pass. Now sending it up the boards until just a bit of a poke check there, able to keep it in the zone. And just spinning out, but getting it down to the Quokkas and out. And sending it back in, for which won't be an icing. There was an opportunity there for them to touch up, and just missing the puck. And so Newell and the Reds look to capitalise on that one.
Kirsten Richards just overskating that puck there, giving Cashin the opportunity to get a shot and a rebound, but the West Australians hopefully will clear it out. Nice kick save. And earlier on it was reset up by Frost doing a good job, just driving the puck back in under pressure. Good play by Frost in defence.
Watson just reading that one all the way, able to stop that high danger opportunity there. And Quokkas looking a little desperate on defence, just send that one out and get a change in. Richards off.
Gallagher chipping it in for Cashin, but not quite able to make the pick there with Louise McNabb in position to intercept.
And now Clark looking for a shot, looking for the and desperately looking for that puck is behind the goal is Leicester, and that one will be called by the referee. That was not in. And we'll just see what happened there. The rebound headed out, and then the second player attempted to get in for that rebound.
It was a big, juicy rebound there, but Leicester sprawling all over the place, just getting a body in the way. And it's just an example of trying to make yourself be as big as possible. And hopefully you get yourself in front of the puck. So Leicester keeping that one out. It looked a bit grotty for a little while, but she did what was needed. It wasn't pretty.
Kept it out. And Quokkas couldn't quite get in on that one, but you could see the energy was definitely there, looking for those opportunities. Puck high and down.
Leach floating around looking for a stretch pass. He's got Thomas keeping an eye on her.
Chipping them boards to get it in deep. Trying to get that one in. Sayers a little wide for that centering pass.
Just looking at the defensive setup of the West Australians. They've got one of the D activated in deep, which does leave them exposed. It was Hayduck, but she gets back out onto her job. When they do that, the West Australians need to have someone come in and cover for them.
And Leicester will freeze that puck again.
Well, they will get breakouts against them and they will get swamped. So Hayduck activated and went in deep, but the West Australian forwards need to see that and come back and fix it up. Otherwise, they only had Thomas back on the blue line on her own. So when a D does activate, forward needs to come back and cover, or they are just going to get overrun by odd play rushes.
Smith and Krulak on the face-off. Reds win it, and Johnson carrying the puck and sending that one out. It was touched, and so will not be an icing. Goalie comes out to play it. Watson sending it up the boards. And Reds sending it back in, looking for that.
Just Meg's fans on the gift. It's a beautiful pass by Leach.
Excellent positioning by Megs, however, doesn't quite manage to connect that one for a shot. Now Krulak getting it back in, keeping in, and looking for an option. Sending it in deep and heading in through the slot, but the Quokkas will manage to tip that one into the neutral zone. Scene trying to get that one from Johnson, but Johnson just flying past the Quokkas. And a bit of a poke check there by the Quokkas defense, Hayduck.
Yeah, Hayduck read that one well and saw the threat from the pass. Just stuck a stick out into the path of the puck and cut off the attack quite nicely.
Johnson once again heading through, managed to get around those plays, looking for a good shot, good opportunity, rebound available. Quokkas get that one out to Sayers, who will send it up for what is going to be an icing call. It is not going to be an icing call. And Gallagher getting that one.
Yeah, I'm
and
not quite sure why that one wasn't either.
Speed up the ice, flying through those players.
Gallagher almost collides with Leach, looking for the pass.
And Zuck's just able to break that one up just in time before the shot from Gallagher, who will head back to the blue line as the Quokkas on the breakout head up. And Dravo just taking a bit of a tumble there, and as the possession changes. And gentle shot there will be covered by Watson.
Keir Vanderkleet there, just trying to get a chip the puck in towards the net. She was under pressure. She had 4 West Australians putting pressure on her. Really all she could do from a bad angle was chip the puck in the direction of the net, which is exactly right what she did. But it wasn't going to beat Watson. Watson swallowed that one up quite nicely.
Quokkas send that on boards. Don't get it. It's in the slot, and Antil will grab that one. Try and carry that up for the stretch pass to Clark. Some excellent pressure there.
Clark just lost sight of that briefly. The pass was nice to her, but I don't think she was aware of the fact that it was coming.
Now the high defence has been a bit risky for the Quokkas just then. They were able to get back in time as Van der Vliet battles for that one with Antil. And Kazada with the puck, and a bit of a tumble there by McNabb. Newell touching up, passing across to Kazada. Kazada and Newell in with Van der Vliet. And the Quokkas.
Clark doing a good job of playing it up the ice. Just prioritising clearing the puck, but lots of Reds in defence.
Antil with a good shot there. Leicester grabbing that one for a save.
So what we're starting to see through this second period is some good urgent back-checking by both teams and trying to really own that neutral zone and set up pressure. It's been a much more score-free second. There hasn't been a goal yet, despite the 3-on-5 the West Australians had early on. 10 shots apiece to the two teams. The Quokkas with the more of the run, 8 shots in the second so far to the Reds with just the 5.
Now battling down low. A shot doesn't make it in for the Quokkas.
3-on-1 now for the Reds.
Little stick there, manages to get that one broken up. But the Reds in deep and with possession. Cashin with...
So that 3-on-1 happening. Hayduck had activated and gone in deep, but again, the West Australians not covering for her. She left her other defensive partner on her own, and the Reds gained possession and broke out with a 3-on-1, which became a great scoring opportunity. The West Australians need to be really mindful of that. If their D does activate, they've got to get someone back to cover, or it's just going to keep happening.
Now, under 10 seconds to go. We'll see if the WA team will try and do anything. I don't think there's going to be much time as the buzzer sounds for the end of the second period.
And we have a scoreline of 3 goals to the Western Reds. Sorry, the Western Reds. The Melbourne Reds. The Western Reds is from some other sport. The Melbourne Reds, and none to the Quokkas. The Quokkas did have 5-on-3 for about a minute early on in that second period, and created a lot of pressure on the net, but not able to convert it. Taylor Lester managing to get a body in the way of everything so far. And an interesting period, though. The Reds did create a number of opportunities, but the West Australian Quokkas did a good job of creating some opportunities themselves and got a few breakaways. What they do need to be particularly mindful of is they are, at this period, activating their defence a lot when bringing them into the attack. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's a perfectly viable option. But if you are going to do it, you've got to make sure that someone gets back and covers it. If they just leave 1D on the blue line, when the Reds get the puck and they come at you fast in that situation, you're going to have 3-on-1s, 3-on-nones over and over and over and over again. So the West Australians need to learn from that and make sure that when they see Hayduck, for example, coming in, and she does it a lot, she's good at it, no criticism there whatsoever, they have to cover that up and get someone back to fix it. Otherwise, the Reds will overrun them in the third. So if they can sort that out, activate their D by all means, it does create opportunities, and they do need to score goals, so they need to take those risks. But at the same time, they've got to make sure they've got someone at home to cover it, not just the one player stuck on the blue line watching it, because they will just get overrun by a team of Melbourne Reds who are faster, but not as physical or not as strong as the West Australian team. So if the West Australians can just fix that up, I think they're a real chance to try and get this back. Look for them taking more risks, though, in the third, so they may need to risk that anyway and still do that 4-player activation in the third, because they are down by 3 goals. So they're going to have to throw caution to the wind a little bit, so maybe all that's nonsense. They just need to throw them in and see what happens, because they do need to score goals, Zoe.
That is the name of the game. Get
Score more than the other team.
team.
There's 2 parts to that equation. Score more, get scored against less.
There we go.
And that's the hard part. Boston
Plus
had a bad
and
day
minus.
today. Boston had a bad day today.
No one brought up Boston.
I
Come
did.
on.
They lost 7-4. Oh, dear.
Here
New
we
York
go.
Rangers are on a bit of a heater. Anyway, that's not this game.
It's not this game. As we head into the red zone, Quokkas right out of the gate, trying to put that pressure on, looking for a shot, doesn't get through to the goaltender.
Frost gets a sticky in the way of it, and it breaks out.
And Lieber heading back to the puck, but a lot of speed from the Reds manages to not get a clean pass, or pardon me, clean possession from Lieber.
And there's another one of those 2-on-1s.
McNabb with the puck now, out-muscled by Krulak, or Leach, pardon me. And the Krulak now with the puck.
Leach very slow to get back to feet, but she's just sitting on the blue line waiting for the puck. There's no movement there. Simone will be getting pretty tired by now. It's been a long weekend. It's game 6 for them. They're all tired.
Centering pass broken up as the Quokkas head out on a breakout. And pass to McNabb. McNabb looking for the shot, but that will be frozen by Taylor Lester for a whistle, and both teams will get a change.
Yeah, Lester saw the threat. McNabb's pretty quick. No, she managed to kick the puck through a high challenge by the Reds' defence. Lester there, however, moved forward quite comfortably. And I think she's warm now.
I would say so. She's not let any in so far, and we'll see how that goes. I won't say.
Don't say the word. No, it doesn't matter. It's superstition. You can say shout out if you want.
Win or lose on superstition, it's fine. Drew Thompson now.
It's early days.
Battling and not able to get that one off Krulak, but that will not exit the zone for the Quokkas, who have a good keep-in on the blue line. Another chip not able to exit as Zux sends that one back in. And another puck is frozen by Leicester, looking a bit risky there, but managing to get that one.
Not sure she necessarily knew where it was. It might have got underneath her. We might see this on the replay if we're lucky. But it did look like it snuck under one of her pads, but then she sat down on top of it. And maybe not necessarily aware of where it was, but it wasn't in the net, and that's all that matters for her perspective.
And
so you see Hayduck's crept up very high in that initial face-off.
Gallagher wheeling around, shipping that one up the boards to herself. And looking to go 200 feet with this one as she heads in and goes for a shot behind the goal. And Quokkas will send that one up to Sayers. Sayers in a battle as the Reds get that one back up down deep, but no one home for that centering pass, and so that will trickle out to the neutral zone with Frost on that one.
Frost being well pressured there by Ange Seen, doing a good job of putting pressure on her.
Quokkas send that one out back into the neutral zone. However, Reds are able to regain possession. And now West Linnet on that one. And a couple of changes happening for the Reds as Sayers trying to get that one out.
Cashin unluckily just pushes the puck out with her feet, putting her players offside, and it's
and good possession maintaining there while waiting for the players to get offside. Shot, another shot, and that one is swallowed up by Eleanor Watson. A good opportunity there from the Reds, is not able to get past the iceHQ goaltender, Eleanor Watson.
So Cashin lost the puck there just briefly in her feet and brought the puck out of the zone, which caught the Reds in a little bit of an offside trap, and it was Marie West trying desperately to get back on, and eventually they got the puck back in and created a good scoring chance.
Now that one heading down. Goalie will see if she wants to play it, and she will. Bang it behind the boards. A lot of speed there from the Quokkas, who are rolling, looking for an opportunity. Just loses the puck a little bit, not able to get that shot off, but maintains that in their O zone.
Clark in good position, just wasn't quite able to get enough balance to get the shot away.
Now looking for a dangerous centering pass. Another opportunity there, and that one is just frozen by Leicester. A bit of a late whistle there as Leicester goes down on that one. We'll check everything's okay, and we will have a face-off.
And McNabb doing a really good job there in the slot, getting pressed. The West Australians with a couple of nice rebounds there. The puck bobbling around, not quite able to convert it. Leicester doing a good job of getting the pads out nice and wide and being a barrier. But great play there, McNabb getting with that pressure after a good press by Nicole Clark, who just wasn't quite able to convert it.
Quokkas rolling here, looking for another shot as Antil, who gets that one across the goal, and Megs will go for that one with Lieber trying to pressure, and Megs with speed up and in alongside Leach. And they'll just send that one back down, and Johnson will grab that one as the players will run off for a touch-up, and Johnson will send that one in.
We're just under 10 minutes to go. 3 goals the lead to the Reds. 16 shots to the Quokkas to 12 for the Reds, but the Reds have been able to convert them.
Here you go, Quokkas with a shot, just almost getting through the pads there of Leicester, who goes down for a face-off. Just a slight bobble, but Leicester is in control. And Reds setting up for quite a defensive face-off. That is kept in by the Quokkas, who send it all the way in. Doesn't get through to the goaltender as Gallagher, we know has a lot of speed, is heading up and will not manage to make that shot with good pressure by Hayduck, just chipping that one wide and behind the goal. Trying to get that breakout and sending it up now are the Quokkas. Unfortunately for them, they have some defense, but they get it into the offensive zone. That one trickles out, and so they will be offside and just wheel around a little as Hayduck, while her players get back onside. Hayduck now through a lot of speed on her offside, on her backhand side. And Reds now trying to get that one out of the zone. Don't manage to make that one. Coming into support. And Zuck's keeping that one in. And a lot of space here for a shot. And that will be a shot and a save. Rebound available. Just sent out. And Reds once again not able to clear. Another shot floats in, and Gallagher will head to that one.
But the Reds uncharacteristically giving away a lot of space in the slot there to Dravo. She got a chance to skate right down the road, straight at the net and get a shot away.
And Zucks again sending that one into the slot, trying to look for Dravo. And Wes Linnett trying to get that one out, and she does.
Now we have a 2-on-1 situation for the Reds.
And that one stopped by the goaltender, Eleanor Watson. Not managed to be swallowed up, and so the puck stays live, and now the Quokkas the other way. Heading in, getting a bit of speed in, looking for that shot.